With health updates and more, this is Wrestling Rambles. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Revealing how WWE apparently had their superstars give up social media accounts to the company, Ryback said on his podcast, "People don't understand in 2016 in WWE when I left, I was the only WWE talent who didn't. They got all the talent in a room together and tried to get everyone to sign over their social media. And they went over this program and they were talking about sponsors, and I was the only talent who walked out of there and did not sign it." Recalling the time she spent working with her father, Charlotte Flair said this on the Michael K. Show. "You know what's weird? He would sit and talk to the guys and they would ask him questions because he would sit by the monitor at live events, and I could see him giving great advice. But I never went to him and sat at the monitor to say, hey, what could I do better? I didn't feel that connection with him. That he could look at me in a non-biased way and tell me what to do. I respected and appreciated how much the guys took his advice. But if I went up to him and said, hey, what should I do in this match? I didn't feel the same connection or the same amount of effort to help me." Mentioning his dealings with neck issues, Kevin Nash said on his Click This podcast, "I'm hunting for probably a neck surgeon. It just keeps, I talked to the people from Bio Accelerator and she's saying give it some more time. It's just been a couple of months and I'm like, my shoulders have gotten way better. Like night and day, my shoulders have gotten better. It's just my neck. I've got the C2 and a C5 that are just not good." When asked about the possibility of Ronda Rousey returning to the Octagon for UFC 300, Dana White told Sports Illustrated there's no shot. She's accomplished everything that she set out to do. Her dream was to win a UFC championship, then win a WWE championship, and she's done it. Now she's starting a family. Ronda has made so much money, and she's still making a lot of money in sponsorships. On a drive, Matt Cardona can be seen passing WWE headquarters where he said this in a video.
"I'm coming home, Vince. No more of this indie bullshit. No more being disrespected at GCW. Vince, I'm coming home. Chelsea, I'm coming. Wait for me."
During an interview with Metro, Brian Myers talked about remaining with Impact Wrestling as long as possible, saying, "If Impact will have me, I probably shouldn't say this out loud, but I'll end my career there. I'll be there as long as I can because I'm having that much fun. The schedule is a little more lenient. It allows me to be super dad when I'm home. It's pretty much perfect for me, you know? It was kind of like my whole world was spinning. Joining Impact was one of the best things that ever happened in my career, and I like to think Impact was pretty blessed by it too, because I've worked my ass off in every situation. Also, I'm having fun, and they're also giving me the opportunity to be the wrestler I always wanted to be. The real version of me, not nibbling and crumbs and taking what I can get, which, hey, it happens in wrestling and it is what it is. I think the Impact Wrestling World Championship is mine for the taking. I've worked my ass off for the past 3 years. I don't think there's anyone who can say they've done what I've done in Impact in the past 3 years. I've been the workhorse and backbone of this company for 3 years. I've done everything that's asked of me to the best of my abilities at the highest level. Never disappointed, never missed a beat, represented the company at the highest levels." With him set to face off against MJF for the AEW World title at All In, Adam Cole said this about his physical condition, telling Under the Ring, "I feel great. I feel really, really good. I've been wrestling for 15 years and I remember thinking, 9 months is both a long time, and then I would also trick myself into thinking, oh, 9 months isn't that long. I'll jump right back into it and I'll be totally fine." There definitely was a relearning curve when I came back. I think a lot of it had to do with the severity of what I went through. I remember being totally relieved and so happy that I was cleared by multiple doctors, but there still was that like, God, what if something else happens type of fear. And I'm just being totally transparent and honest when it comes to that. But now as time has gone on, specifically these past few months, I feel the best I have felt in years. Honestly, like both in the ring, on the microphone, while traveling, in my personal life, like everything that's happening right now, I could not be happier. I'm so thankful, so grateful to be able to be back in the ring doing what I love to do. And truth be told, I've never been more physically, mentally, emotionally, more ready for this giant event. I feel great. I feel really, really good. Saying this about his role with Logan Paul in WWE, Shane Helms told Chris Van Vliet, "I got to give Logan all the credit in the world. Bro, he works so hard. He's a hustler and he works hard as hell. I'm just the guy kind of training him, but yeah, behind the scenes, I'm the guy." Helms added that, "Now I'm a producer. Agent is what we used to say back in the day. We're kind of the go-between creative and the talent. We get the assignment from creative for the segments we do that night. We get with the talent, and between us and the talent, we go out and try to put out the segment that they've given us to the best we can." Giving fans a health update, AEW commentator Jim Ross took to Twitter to write, "Good news, MRI came back negative. No cancer in my tibia." Speaking about CM Punk, Paul Wight said this to DAZN. "Star power. A lot of people may not like Phil's attitude. I've known Phil for a long time. We've been friends for a long time. Phil is super competitive and super driven. He expects a lot from himself and he expects a lot from others around him. I think a lot of the beginning here is just a communication breakdown. People might not understand how passionate Phil is. Phil is a guy that's going to let you know if he's upset about something, and he's not going to give a crap if he hurts your feelings. He's not. He's never been that way with me. If I've screwed up and done something, he's letting me know right away. What was I thinking? And it goes back and forth. I kind of have the same attitude. Not quite as intense as Phil, but mine is very business oriented. What's best for the program? What's best for the overall show? A lot of times in a business, when you have this many incredible talents with this many egos, feathers are going to get rubbed the wrong way. There's going to be conflict. I mean, it's not romper room. This is a serious business with serious athletes, and everyone has to learn to communicate their passion in different ways. Still, the one thing that unequivocally nobody can deny is CM Punk brings star power. Asked if there are any wrestlers outside WWE he would like to see back in the promotion, Road Dogg said on his podcast, "I immediately start thinking about who is the most marketable guy out there, and I don't see anyone that like you have to have. Punk coming back would move the needle in a big way. I don't know how relationships are with that, but that would move the needle. So if I had to say somebody, it would be him, but I would only say him from a controversial standpoint. In my mind anyway, I think he's a controversial figure at this point, and I think that's good for business." As Edge appeared to wrestle his final match for WWE, Booker T said this regarding the rated R superstar potentially going to AEW, saying on his Hall of Fame podcast, "I don't think Edge is going to AEW, but if Tony Khan big check to do nothing. Me personally, I think Edge's bump card, I think that's why he had his last match. His bump card is like, I think he's sick and tired of taking bumps. I know how it feels to be in that zone taking bumps. Edge is a guy getting up there in age, and I think he wants to enjoy the fruits of his labor, but a check, like a couple million to ask him to do nothing, hey, you never know." Touching on the discussions that have taken place between Mariah May and AEW, Sean Ross Sapp, a Fightful, noted that back in 2019, WWE has a WWE UK Performance Center tryout. The company had reached out to her almost immediately after her wrestling career started. We've been told that WWE has kept an eye on her ever since then as well, but that AEW has been the company picking up steam as a potential landing point. We've not been told if May and AEW or WWE have have had active conversations or negotiations. She's currently in Japan, where she's been working a heavy schedule with Stardom, including a recent singles match with Julia that many considered the best of Mariah's run with the company. There has been speculation over the last week that she may be finishing up in Japan and be signed somewhere after she shut down her big cartel store and posted a tweet saying, "I will never forget this time of my life, thankful," while remembering some of her matches in Japan. The day prior, she and Mina Shirakawa dropped the Goddess of Stardom titles to the Cosmic Angels. With AEW Tag Team Champion Cash Wheeler recently arrested for aggravated assault involving a firearm, this was said on Wrestling Observer Radio regarding consequences he could face in AEW. It doesn't look like he is going to be punished at this point. As far as the story goes, it did die down, so yeah, I don't expect it. There has been no indication of anything like that. If the company got any heat over it, then perhaps, but I don't get that feeling at all. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.